So Rodney Hood does go as a first-round pick, number 23 overall. Utah and Charlotte now on the clock, so I'm sure Charlotte was thinking they might have had a guy from the triangle, but now he heads to Utah instead.
Well, you think about what Utah has. They have a very good three-man on their roster in Gordon Hayward, a guy that, I'm in his third or fourth NBA seasons putting up really good numbers.
Yes.
So Rodney can play 2 or the 3, I believe, in NBA with his length. He's a guy that can defend. He's a guy, again, as I said, that's more athletic than he showed in college. I felt he fell in love with the three-point shot too much. He has to become an all-around player in the NBA, and now you talk about going to the Utah Jazz. I think he's going to have to slide over and play the 2, or Gordon Hayward's going to have to play the 2. Those 2 guys together, I think, will form a pretty good tandem. And then you also throw in Dante Exum into that mix. They have some good young players on that Utah Jazz club, and they're headed by another ACC guy recently in Quinn Snyder. So.
That's right. Rodney, you know, as good of a shooter he is, and you can see he's got the body to be in the NBA. There were times where I felt like he did not assert himself offensively, and then on the boards as well. There were games. I mean, there's no reason a guy like that should go empty on the boards. The stat sheet on the board should be empty. But there are other games where he put up 10, 12 boards. You get a double-double.
I mean, you know, the thing about Rodney, of course, and when you look at the way that Duke played this year was very uncharacteristic for a Blue Devil team. They were all offense, very little defense. You know, maybe call them ook, no DM. But you think about it, I mean, they didn't have the commitment on that side of the floor, and it's very uncharacteristic for what Coach K. But one thing I'll say about Coach K, he coaches to what his talent is.
Absolutely.
Well, Rodney Hood's not a defender. That's not really where his strength is. Jabari Parker, that's definitely not his strength. Quinn Cook is not his strength.
No.
You know, I mean, Rasheed Suleiman can defend, was probably their best defender, but it wasn't what he really wanted to do. So when you think about that, he was coaching toward his strength. I think we'll see a completely different Duke team this year, but when you got a guy like a Rodney Hood as a leader, you know, he was a captain of that team. After sitting out last year, he didn't even play, and he was named a captain. Between he and Tyler Thornton, I thought it was their job to go out there and say, we're going to step forward and defend. Tyler Thornton did that. I don't think Rodney Hood really stepped up.
Can he do that as an NBA? He's going to have to defend, especially playing on the wing in the
Well,
NBA.
one thing about being an NBA, and Jill will tell you this, if you don't defend, you get embarrassed. There is no help. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, it's an ISO game.
Coming soon on the ACC Digital Network, the 2014 college football season. Follow the ACCDN for comprehensive coverage of the national champs and every ACC school. College football the way you want it. The ACC Digital Network, brought to you by Ruby Tuesday.